Welcome back, everybody, to the Lika Chess Tournament Day 2. Um, Today I played two games. Um, Again, I played two games, and these two were the toughest games I've ever played in my chess career so far. Against a 1600 and a 1590. Um, I am gonna be honest. I could have gotten a lot better, but my brain started to hurt after all those two matches. I got a headache, a migraine, and had to just sleep it off. I couldn't do anything. I was just tired from the tournament. Now I don't know what the minimum from the semifinals is, but I have 2 points so far. Um, and the reason why I sound like this is because I have a headache right now and a migraine. And yeah, this video came out so late because the matches, unfortunately, were very late. One of them was at 9 p.m. and one of them was at 11. And yeah, that's the reason why they're so late. Now, if I don't make it to the semifinals, which I will say in the end of the video, I will commentate probably, maybe, may not commentate on the next games that are worth to talk about. Um, and also upload them to YouTube to boost the server or anything like that. Um, but if I do make it to the semifinals, you get one more video with me playing. But if I don't make it to the semifinals, which I will make an announcement, the next leak videos, if there be any, there will only be just just neutral commentary, just third party commentary. I won't be participating in those because I don't know what the minimum score is. Probably like 2, but if it's not 2, then it's probably 3, and I'm probably busted by 1 point. Shocking, but it's fine. That's life. You don't win all your matches in chess. There will be losses, there will be victories, there will be draws. It's part of the cycle. Anyway, let me show you the games today. Hope you enjoy. Hit the like button. And also we have a Discord server. I forgot to mention that. I have a Discord server. You can go check that out. And I'm recording this part after the next clip plays. And yeah, I'll see y'all guys next time. Enjoy the video. So let's begin with the first game. It was Catalan, but for some reason, instead of playing the main line, I played knight c3, which is already a bad move because you're supposed to play knight f3. For some reason, I decided to play knight c3. Anyways, c5 is a solid move. Just threatening and asking a lot of questions. The move that absolutely works here is e3. Also captures is still fine. And take, and there's bishop b4, the pinning line, and knight f3 going back to the normal Catalan setup. Castles and bishop g2, d takes e4 and castles. And I'm temporarily down a pawn, but there's still lots of play here. 95, adding pressure, bishop d2, take, and we have this little clamp on c and d. The c3 and d4 pawns, like c and d pawns go together in d4 positions. Queen a4, getting a little active, and after queen c7, I go queen c2. That is a bit of a waste of time, but I just want to trigger a reaction from my opponent. a6 is a bad move because of knight c5 threatening a mate. f5 though, and rook f to e1, adding pressure to the pawn. Rook f6, knight f3, h6. And you might be thinking, well, this position is pretty fun. You have a blockade on the e-file, you have everything. But f4 is the beginning of the fun. Not for me, for my opponent. Rook b8, a4, taking up space, b5, and the king f1 move, which is given a question mark by the ensign. Because you're wasting time. You're supposed to improve. Here, taking absolutely should be played, but instead, I play king f1, bishop b7, and king g1, hoping for a draw. But however, this devastates my position because there's a trade. And after this, my position is collapsing very fast. King g1, back. Queen b7, rook e to b1, queen c6, bishop b3, and it's -3, -2.7 because the position is unholdable. You can't hold it. Take, and queen g2, knight d5, and bishop d2. One final attempt of defending, but it simply does not work because black will probably triple stack, or not even triple stack at all, just go b4 and crash everything. And I play one more final counterattack and a little bit of a trick, try to, do all this. b3 though, king f2, rook a8, and rook a6 is next, which doubles the rooks. Basically, there's nothing. The position is dead lost. Minus 5.5, f4. That was my only chance to counterplay, but it's gone. And h4, take, and forced exchange, because if I did not take, he was probably going to win my rook. Ensign gives this as an idea, because if he takes, apparently there is a little bit of counterplay being created, but there's just nothing. He's just going to give checks, and you're going to block, and you can just go here. And everything is just stopped, because black will sacrifice here. Puss, you can give a check. This check is even better. And then give another check, but at the end of the day, there is nothing. Like, I'll just promote, and you're gonna have to take. And this is just a completely lost endgame. And the game ended with me trying to desperately create counterplay, but it did not end well, and I resigned before mate. Yeah, so the guy was 1600. Okay, it's not an excuse for me to play badly. Okay, the rating of my opponent is not an excuse to play badly. Okay, the mistake that I did on this game is the moves with the king. I tried to find a chance for a draw. Like, I only wanted a draw and then win the next game to maybe pass in the semifinals. I don't know the max score to pass to the next phase of the games. I don't remember it. If it is not 2 points, which I have currently on my pocket, then I'll probably just commentate on the future games and the ones that I find interesting. Now let's go to the next game. And the next game is 65 moves long. I'm gonna tell you, today was an awful day of games. It was an awful day. Probably one of my toughest opponents so far. I was paired with a 1600, a 1400, and a 1500. I was paired with top dogs in the brackets and the favorites. And I was just a measly 1400 sorry for the screen doing that. And I was paired with the top dogs of the tournament. I don't know if I could do anything to prevent the inevitable. So we get a nice little Trompowsky attack, which I've been playing multiple times, but the blunders begin very early as I just sacrifice a rook, but my opponent does not see it, and we just pretend like nothing happened. Knight b2, castles and castles. Now, the whole point of the Trompowsky is to go on a kingside attack, but I was tilted from last game. I couldn't see straight. I played another rapid game before this one to untilt, but it did not work. d5 h3 and c4. It's going back. Everything looks fine. Everything looks nice. But suddenly there is a bunch of mistakes in the position which I failed to realize. And after a4, there is takes, but there's no takes. But now it's even worse, because after this, I lose a knight in a little bit. You'll see. This. Actually, I had to take, wait. You should have probably ignored the spawn. Oh, you can't even ignore it. Fantastic. And f5 just wins the knight. And is the only chance for counterplay. Prevents the best move. And knight f6 check. Desperado. And this game was a parody for me, not for my opponent. My opponent got a free point from whatever medicine I was during this game. There's nothing to commentate about this game. It is 65 moves long, 65 moves of pain. And there's nothing really to commentate on this game. Black made a lot of moves. I was tilted from last game. I couldn't see straight. I couldn't see the wall. My brain was hurting. And I just wanted this to end. And after so long, exchanges left and right. I did have the pass pawn, I did have everything, I did have all that, but there's simply nothing. There's a forced trade of rooks, there's this, after that, and it's just a winning king upon endgame because there's a concept in chess known as the square now. The square is if the king is close to the black pawns, he can stop them, but there's other conditions to be met. For example, where are the kings? Now, the white king is outside of the square, probably. I can't really draw arrows to show it. But the problem is this endgame is winning because number one, the black king is with his pawns and probably gonna win my pawns instantly. And number two, my king is extremely far away and he is not able to reach the pawns on time. Because the king will just keep me out of the pawns. I just have to dance around like this. Promotes a queen and I resign this position. Devastated, embarrassed between like 10 people watching this game live. And yeah, that is how the tournament probably will end. I don't know if I'll make it to the semifinals. If I don't make it to the semifinals, I will probably commentate on the best games. I probably won't play. But if the minimum is 2 points, I will make it to the semifinals by the sheer hands of God. But I probably won't because I saw a /3 something. Some people that lost their games. Sorry for the screen again. I moved my hand and it moved. I saw like a /3. That probably means that the minimum is 3 points. But then I saw a /2 and I'm like, what's the minimum? I didn't get an answer. But if I mentioned in the next tomorrow, if I mentioned on a schedule or something, then that means the videos will continue with me playing. If I'm not, I will start the video by saying I'm not. And yeah, I'll just comment into the best games. Now, obviously, I'm not the highest rated player in the bracket. Let's start with that. There is one guy is 1600, one guy is 1500. There's another guy that is 1700. Yeah, it wasn't really easy to do it. It was, in the last game, I was thinking a lot. Those king moves messed me up. I tilted. I went another game, and yeah, it was just impossible to recover. Anyways, I'll see you all guys next time. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know if there will be another tournament video, but if there is, I will let y'all know. Yeah, let's just let me go now.